We are back. So I told y'all last week we're going to try to get ourselves back on a. So here we go. We got Who Spiked the Tea in the living room tonight. It's AIL Live. Let's go.
I'm a filmmaker. I've worked in film, video, and television for over 30 years. I took a little break, but now I'm back.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Art Imitates Live with me, Tanya. A lot of technical things going on here, but I am ignoring it because we're getting on here and just having our fun. You know how we do. Well, like I said, tonight we're going to be a lot of different stories on that. Kanye West on a lot of stuff, so we're going to talk about Ye tonight. And then also, in the living room, can you defend someone when you know they're guilty? I'll tell y'all how that came to my mind, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But you know how we do, we got to hear a word from the sponsors, and we'll be back to kick it off in just a few minutes.
Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon is being sponsored by Tandiland Global, bringing your multimedia dreams to life.
Hey, welcome back. You know, y'all, as I said just now, we're going to go ahead and get it rolling. We're going to move a little faster tonight, see if we can, get in, get out, try something different with y'all. Because sometimes, we have those marathon shows. But let's go ahead and bring my folks in. So go ahead and unmute yourselves. And let me bring you all into the show. Let's see. Here we go.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, girl.
How y'all doing?
What's happening, y'all?
Hey.
Ladies' night.
Oh, okay.
Ladies' night. Hey,
Yeah.
ladies' night.
I hear you now. I know, right? We could do it. We could do it. I had to tell myself, I spent a lot of years in rooms by myself. I was on radio. I was in a room by myself because before the time when a lot of producers was in. And I had to talk by myself. Then I was on TV shows for years where it's just you talking. And then, you might have some studio people in the room. They're doing whatever. So I just said, man, let's do it. Whoever's here, we're going to rock it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So how y'all doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm feeling good tonight.
How y'all doing tonight? Before we went to tea in a minute, but how y'all doing? Just a quick greetings and salutations.
Just relaxing, taking in the month of October, as you know. So I'm just finna enjoy it each and every single day. Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing very good. Excellent.
I know that's on.
I'm trying not to let nothing worry me, nothing bother me.
Okay.
Right.
So, I'm good. How about you, Tanya?
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to be okay because I'm real stagnant over here. I'm literally going in and out, so I'm kind of improvising. So when y'all see me looking crazy, it's because I wait for something to catch up over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the entries.
Anyway, y'all let me know if I'm I'm going in and out. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring on this other camera, but for some reason, I'm actually having trouble this phone tonight.
Yeah.
But so here's what I'm going to do, just in case, because I want to read the stories and stuff for y'all, and we know that this main mic will start acting a nut in a minute. So
Yeah, no. There's no volume. Oh, she's switching mics.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Okay, how about now? Since I've added it to the stream.
There we go.
Yeah. No, we can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, that's my craziness right there. Okay.
As our little cousin used to say, he couldn't say store. He couldn't say, I want to go to the store. He said, I want to go to the stir.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Tanya?
I might.
Marvin.
Oh, okay.
Marvin couldn't really talk real good when he first came back from Germany. And he couldn't say store. I want to go to the store. He said, I want to go to the stir.
Try to get everything together from the German accent.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, we're here. I tell you what, so let's go ahead and do the opening for Who Spiked the Tea, because that's where we headed. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good.
I know we never get into Who Spiked the Tea this early, so it's
that's pretty quick.
Because we still usually just chilling. Hey, Jimmy, what's up with you, Jimmy? How you doing?
Hi, Jimmy. Mm-hmm.
So let me just put my big hello in there. Okay. But sometimes I forget to look at the chat, but today I did. Okay. Well, you know what? I mentioned earlier, I gave y'all just a quick little brief of what I thought I wanted to talk about. And I am going here with these stories tonight. Okay, this kind of updated itself on its own. I was looking at some stories over on TMZ, and let me see if I can get back to it real quick, because it kind of did its own update and changed where I was going to start. But I have to get back there because it's just really interesting. I was starting off with Kanye West, because he be doing some stuff, and it's really, sometimes I'm on his side and can understand, and then there's right in the middle of that, he will change directions and leave me hanging, and so I just have to take it for what it is, whatever the whole issue is, and see if it's from issue to issue. It's never the same, So let's see okay, here it is. There's a story that was done. It was a couple days ago. Well, yesterday, it was on the 6th. And it's entitled Kanye West, Attack on Lizzo's Weight Loss, Genocide of the Black Race. Okay? So let me give y'all a little behind the scenes on that. And like I said, keep in mind, he has been talking a lot about a lot of things here lately. So, well, he says that Kanye West thinks that there's an evil.
Yeah, she froze. Kanye West thinks there's an evil something. We'll get to.
Okay, you know what? Let me bring this one in too. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah.
I look like I don't like this shot.
Nothing's wrong with that shot.
There's nothing wrong with that shot.
I like a higher cam, But okay, that's that Libra vanity I got. Because I could be you're so vain. They wrote that for me. You probably think the song is about you. Some days are bad. Okay, so
I need to play Cruising for you again.
Huh?
Do I need to play cruising for you again?
I know, right? Okay. Kanye West thinks there's an evil plan behind the attacks on Lizzo's weight. He says that it's a way to kill Black people. He says that he notices that whenever Lizzo, who works out with a trainer, posts on her social media about losing weight, she is immediately attacked by the bot accounts. Okay. And so what he is saying is the reason that he feels that it's happening is that he feels it's because the media wants to put out a perception that being overweight is the new goal for Black people when it's actually unhealthy. So Kanye made claims in his interview with FNC's Tucker Carlson saying it's clinically unhealthy to promote an overweight lifestyle, and going to step further by calling anyone who does so is demonic. So Tucker asked Kanye why he thinks the media wants to promote the unhealthiness among Black people, and he just said it's genocide of the Black race. He did hold back at all on that. So the thing is, I can understand what he said. That's why I said I can roll on certain things, and then other times I'm like, I can understand what he's saying is that the fact when she is trying to get healthier, that's when the social media bots start attacking her for that. I can understand that that's not a good thing. But do you all feel like it is the genocide of Black race, or do you feel like that's too far?
He's entitled to his opinion. I don't feel like he's completely out of place, because if you look at it, a lot of foods that they have that a lot of African Americans feel have access to, which you have access to a lot of things. But if you think about your income and what you make and what stores are available in your neighborhood versus the stores that are further out that may have better options, then it's kind of in that direction of promoting a lot of unhealthy eating. So with that becomes all the health issues. You got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. When you think about all those things that come with unhealthy eating over time, not enough exercise or movement, just those things combined, and then saying you want to put that picture out there to promote, it's fine if she's trying to get healthier, even if she doesn't shed a whole bunch of pounds. Just knowing that she's on the healthier side, even embracing her weight, that's still all fine and dandy, long as you love you know what I mean, and it's not putting so many barriers in front of you being able to move or to operate or have health issues, but if they're flat out just promoting like all you can and don't, then yeah, I get where he's coming from and true. But they shouldn't be bashing her for trying to work out some.
Yeah, that's
He
crazy
just
to me.
want to be more flexible,
Right. Nobody said that she had to be a size 0. Yeah,
give her some kind of help. Help her out. Encourage her that she's doing the right thing for her health, not just because she want to get skinny. Like me, for instance, I'm doing it for my health. I'm not doing it because I want to get out there and just be looking good. Period. Well, I do, but hey, but I'm doing it really for my health. And people don't understand when you walk around with this 24/7. Your whole life, it becomes a burden.
Yeah, you get weighed down.
You get weighed down, and you be looking at people doing all these other stuff, dancing and walking and doing normal stuff that skinny people do. You want to get out there and you want to do that too. So you want to lose a couple of pounds so you can get out there and do. Man, if I had the energy that Lizzo had, oh my God.
Yeah, she be killing it.
Yeah,
she be killing it, man. I'd be like, oh my God, where did this big girl get this energy from? Give me some.
I just be tired. I mean, and I'm a person who's worked out a lot. I mean, I am a person who loves to work out and do cardio. But even with her, when I used to manage artists, I know that when they're on stage, that adrenaline is pumping. And I told them you have to be able to cover your stage. You can't just stand there. You're performing. So you can't just stand there. You got to be able to cover that stage. And so for her to have that adrenaline pumping and be able to cover and do all kinds of stuff and dance and sing and play the flute, She out the chain with it.
Yeah, she's been practicing, but I mean, it make you think about. I hate to say this, but when you think about the New Edition and Bobby Brown huffing and puffing,
Yes, yes. He couldn't cut it.
yeah, yeah, but he didn't show
Right.
up. He didn't show up for enough practice though. He was
Right.
far.
Well, hey, his thing is
He still got it,
we
but
don't want to talk about his situation because when he
you
was out there and that weighs down your body, them drugs will weigh your body down, but
no, but that weight, that stomach.
that weight will weigh you down too now. But let me tell y'all, look,
Yeah.
long story short, I can't remember my 9th or my 11th grade year, but they were looking for pom-pom girls for our school, for our band. And I learned the routine and everything. I had so much energy and that, oh my God. The band teacher said the only reason why he did not pick me is because they didn't have any costumes or outfits to fit me because me being large. He said, but I outdid at least half of them other girls. He said I rocked it. He said I tore it up. He said he wanted me so bad. He said, but the only thing is, he told me it wouldn't look right with me being my size, and then on the other end of the that's holding the banners there would be a little skinny girl, a real skinny type, And I was like, I understand. I was a little mad, but then I kind of thought about it.
He could have got an outfit made for you, custom made.
He could have.
Probably wasn't thinking that back then.
He could have, because the lady that was making the outfits was my godmother, and I mean she could have hooked it up for me. You know what I'm saying? But I understood. So he put me somewhere else in the band, and I basically ran the band. So I was happy with that. I went whenever they got to go somewhere, I went too. So
I know that's right.
But the energy that like Lizzo had, I had that back then. But as I got older and got bigger, y'all, I'm telling you, it's number on your knees, your back. It tears it up. It tears it up. So I understand what she,
right.
Hats off to you, girl. Kisses to you. Do your thing.
Exactly.
Do your thing, sweetie.
Yes.
Don't let these people stop you. Just do your thing.
I'm a major Lizzo fan. For the very first time that I saw her on stage, because I think that's how I first saw her. My cousin had mentioned her before, and I just never knew who it was until I saw her on I think it was a concert overseas, and she was killing it so hard. I was like, who? Oh, this is her. And I became fascinated, and I became a fan. She works on
I'm gonna try to get back like her.
I know that's
right. Some of that energy. I'm gonna get a little bit of it back.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go on to another story. I'm gonna just put y'all a message in the chat before in the private chat before I leave here. Hold on a second. I can't do the exact writing because my phone is blocking what I'm trying to type. So I hope you get what I'm saying. So, but okay, we're gonna move on to the next story. Now, as I mentioned, Kanye was just out doing like a lot of stuff this week. I mean, like a lot of stuff. That cat was talking here, talking there. Wait a minute. And now my computer is doing something else. Again, let's see if I can get to it, but I can kind of remember the story, even if it doesn't get there. I can kind of remember this next story. He has been talking about, Black Lives Matter for a while, and that it was a fake organization. And we know that it was damn sure a fake organization. But I'm trying to get to this tweet that he put out because it was kind of funny. I'll see if I can find it in a minute. But Sharon Osbourne weighed in on that because she says that they gave $900,000 to Black Lives Matter, and she said it is a scam, and she want her money back.
Oh
Do
Lord.
you blame her?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So then she gonna let it over for that.
Yeah, so
It's over
she
for that one.
right. They ain't giving that back because over and put it into a house or something. The girl, one of the people who they claim was over Black Lives Matter when
No,
we
they
know that was
paid all of the cousins and kin folks for security and whatever.
yes. By the time they paid all that, ain't no money.
And now
Oh,
they
here's
at that house chilling at the pool in the back or something.
Man back at the beach.
I don't know.
Half of them at the beach and the other half.
like Kanye said in his tweet, he said, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. I just thought it was funny.
He's
I
so
thought it was
high.
funny.
He's so high.
But here's the other side of the game. He'll be saying something that makes sense one minute. And I'm
And
not saying that this doesn't make sense. I'm
yeah.
just going to say that his White Lives Matter shirt, where'd that come from? And I'm like,
Oh, he sure ain't white. Oh,
yeah, I'm like, yeah.
No,
just-
but he was
just-
messing with the K's and you know what they do.
But I'm like this. We all can have white friends. I got white friends. You know, and the thing is,
I actually have a white mama. Okay, this lady was from high school. Well, me and her daughter was good friends in high school, and right now to this day, she'll tell everybody, "This is my daughter." Yeah, she's of color, but yeah, this is my daughter.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But he does things that. Let me just say, I'm not going to say if it's good or bad. I'm just going to say it's just questionable. What's the reason?
It's questionable. It does make you go,
Right. It's like,
Well,
what's the reason?
You know, he's if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but you know he was stuck in Donald Trump ad. Damn, did I say that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is, I am a Trump supporter too. I ain't got no White Lives Matter shirt on though. All right. So they got nothing to do with that.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know.
Because I'm that all day long. You have to understand the politics behind it. Don't want to get into
Right,
it
I understand.
tonight.
I understand, but I mean, I guess he was like dead in his high point. I mean, he was just, and then I don't know. Kanye just, I don't know.
He does a lot of things for attention.
Yeah, I think he purposely try to keep you guessing.
You know what? Since you just said that just come out your mouth, and I think that's true because when he was married to what's her face,
right.
All his everything everything he was doing kind of like stopped. So now he's got to find something else to cover that because he's not in that family anymore, and they got a lot of publicity going on, and they just cut him off. So now he's got to find something else to publicize himself, and that's why he's doing a lot of this stuff. That's why I feel I don't like Kanye.
Like I don't mind.
I just don't like him.
With I guess some of the stuff he's doing concerning like his church and stuff like that. Like I'm cool with that with the idea, but you know, any other premise or any other thing, you know, that you're trying to do outside of that for your own personal gain might be, you know, that stuff that's definitely questionable. The stuff that's definitely like, what's your agenda? Are you still planning to run for president?
I really think.
Are you still whatever he was trying to do? That
right.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I don't think that any of that was actually ever important. I really believe that it was just a way to stay relevant. I really believe that a lot of it was just to stay relevant. His music when he first came out was like really good for me, and then it changed, and I don't listen to it the same way.
Yeah,
you know?
I miss the old Kanye, not the
Me too. Old Kanye, the music was fun.
They were like the black Kanye. You know, saying all kind of stuff.
Yeah, that old 11. We don't know who we got right now.
He was a different person before he married a Kardashian.
Well, let me tell you what is going on with him and the whole situation. What he just said about Kim. Now, he spoke up this week and said the fashion industry is manipulating Kim, crossing lines with nudity. Okay. He says that she's being pimped out by the fashion industry to sell sex, even though she is a successful businesswoman with a billion-dollar empire. The way that he sees it is that she essentially is being manipulated, again, by the industry to cross lines regarding nudity, and he hints at some malicious intent, pointing out Kim has 4 Black children with him. Okay, so he's still talking about, I guess, the Black thing, taking them down Black folks. So he went after the media for daring to criticize him for buying the house next to him. I just said he bought the house next door, and he doesn't want to be seen as a stalker of her and Pete Davidson. I'm sorry, Pete Davidson is just not attractive at all. I don't know. I think there has to be some type of a dare or something that you have to go through to rise in the industry, that you have to date Pete or something, because he is just not attractive.
I thought they had broke up, but maybe I'm late. Maybe they did and then got back together or had problems, whatever. But with Pete, I just heard that it was like some rumor concerning, I can't even say it, but it's something about private parts. So I'll leave it at that. So that's probably some of the thinking behind some of these women that choose to date him. But yeah, the only thing I see, well, maybe he's just extremely funny, and or and they like that comedic side, or to be able to just seem like they can really relax and be them full self,
Right.
the type of dude that he is, more laid back. And so maybe that's what they're wanting.
I really believe that there's some type of a rite of passage in order for your career.
Rite of passage, but with him, though.
I know. His granddaddy must be well, I ain't gonna say that last name, but he's got to be somebody of some stature, because that cat right there.
I don't.
He's funny. Just leave him over on the funny
side. I'm thinking of the one of the characters from Ice Age.
What?
Leguizamo, whoever that I forgot.
That little thing that walk around, that not the one with the nut, not the one with the acorn,
squirrel,
but the little
big eyes and the big teeth.
What? I don't know. Y'all talk about
that real quick when we think about Pete Davidson and talking about you gotta go out with him and him be your boyfriend, and I was just like, what? Like, I don't know if I can take that serious. That mission serious. Like,
how can anybody sit down and eat their dinner in front of him like that?
No. Like that. I'm sure he's a pretty cool guy, but it just ain't.
It might be nice.
I would have so many headaches. Oh, I gotta watch.
Don't float my boat. I'm sorry.
He might be nice because he ain't.
Like,
money don't run that scarce. I'm sorry.
He might have to permanently be in the friend zone for me.
Right. Well, y'all want to do a picture? That's what I'm trying to work on right now. Do y'all want to do a picture for the gram?
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm catching y'all in so many different ways. I don't think it's fair for me to catch y'all in all these different poses. There'll be some other poses though. Just FYI. So hold for me. Let's see if this is ready down here. This is behind. Hold on. It's behind. Okay. It's still behind. Okay, let's just go ahead and pose. It'll be behind. I'll catch it in a minute. 3, 2. Okay.
Oh, my eyes are drying out a little bit.
All right.
I'm trying to hold, but I'm about to start.
Let's see if I can do it. Sometimes when I'm trying to do that screenshot.
You need another one?
I got it. I'm going to try to do one more because it's behind. So since it's behind, I can I can do other stuff. Well, I got it. That's all I'm gonna do is that one because I got some other side shots.
Yeah, your twin is frozen.
Yeah, I don't know why she keep freezing. She on a cell phone. Why she tripping like that? See what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
coverage over here be wild and crazy. Another reason why we gonna get in and out of the show
Yeah.
tonight. I get tired. It's frustrating. I'm gonna do the work on the post in just a few moments. Let's see. We're just talking about Kim, what he was saying about Kim, and oh, buddy, Kanye. He's been doing a lot. Well,
the one thing I was gonna mention. So is he more concerned about the image she's portraying in front of her kids for them to not be a part of that?
He's mostly saying that, that they're trying to pimp her into using sex, and it's another form of a genocide.
But I know. Oh, I think your mic went out.
Okay, is that in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's basically saying that they're trying to pimp Kim, and she's got 4 Black kids with him, and so he's still saying that's the genocide of a Black race. So that's basically, I believe, the point that he's still, pushing with that, and that don't let herself be ambushed by them and start selling sex for them too. So, and I can understand that part too, because there is an agenda that pushes people to sell sex, and what's irritating is adults can make the decision for themselves, but when we start putting that impression on young people and relaxing them, that's a form of grooming to me. So when you start relaxing young people to the point where it's okay to wear no pants, and really no underwear, on the stage, and it's a performance, and it's just a performance piece, and that's grooming to me. I'm taking it a little far, but that's to me the type of stuff that they do.
No, I already know it if they're grooming kids with the, what is it, non-binary, all this stuff with the putting it in like toddler shows, Blue's Clues, and the Pride Parade and stuff. Like that's a little. Like these kids don't even know who they are or know their name.
Exactly.
Start introducing that they don't even know all their letters yet. Like
some of them now
without feeling there. Like basic skills. Why is we putting impression on like who's this lady wearing this rainbow dress and sound like a guy? Like just It's not time for that.
It's just not fair. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not
they
fair.
don't know any better. So
that's
they
definitely grooming. And like certain parents are like,
kids know more than we think. We think they know.
I'm glad parents are starting to question that. Like that's a little much.
Right, exactly. And
I don't know.
Okay.
I got some on Facebook today, and it's blowing up. My phone just going down, just thinking. Plus size women thing, and my phone is. I'm getting a whole kind of comments
and stuff. Oh,
okay. I'm just doing the post for us, so I can just put this out here real quick. But yeah, so I can understand, again, like you mentioned the grooming, but there was another fight that Kanye got into this week with Diddy, and this was over the White Lives Matter T-shirt, the controversy, and I guess Diddy is trying to reason with him, and he is saying, F you, I'm selling these WLMTs. And so Ye kept putting out showing the conversation between him and Diddy. And like I said, I can't weigh in on this one because I don't know what the heck Ye is doing on this one. So I guess this is where Diddy is talking to him. He says, send me in the dress. Let's stop playing these internet games. And don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. So Ye comes back and says, this ain't a game. I'm going to use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me. I told you this was war. Now I'm going to get you some business. Go and get you some business. And the real thing is, the stuff that Ye is saying back to him is absolutely relevant. But I wouldn't waste my time over a WLM shirt that I would say it in general. You know, it would be in general. So then Diddy comes back again and says, I'm just trying to talk to you as a black man, and I'm talking to you because this is hurting our people. Stop. And so Ye comes back, he's like, anything you text, I will post. I love you, and you guys are breaking my heart. I accept your apology in advance. So the thing is, again, it's okay if you want to have the fight and stand up to the machine. But can we get a better reason?
Yeah.
Can we use something better than that? You know, to stand up to the machine. Well, that's essentially what he's doing. He's standing up to the machine.
It's like, but what's the reason behind the whole T-shirt in the first place, really?
Yeah, that's the part that I don't get. I don't know. I don't get it. And I'm not like so strung out about it or anything like that. I just want to know what's the reason.
Yeah, and it's kind of trippy because it's like you at one moment you're talking about Kim and kids, and you're saying your kids, of course, your kids are black or mixed, but now you trying with these T-shirts, and so what's the message are you know that toward concerning your kids too? Because now it's kind of
confused.
Yeah, it's kind of
confusing. Yeah.
The message is confused. So I know I'm confused.
So I mean,
I don't know how much more I'm gonna be able to try to think or figure out Kanye for them.
Yes, and to have his back on it because I'm tired.
Like, okay, Kanye, I need a break. Can you keep
the level? And that's our last story on him.
Can you keep the level of the BS down, Kanye? So like just a little bit. Just put a sprinkle each week, not a whole.
I'm tired, so that's gonna be the last story that I do. Cause we're gonna move on from Ye, because it's too much. Really too much. But I'm gonna talk about I found it interesting, and this is telling on conversation that we had last week about the death of Coolio, age 59. And I watched the not interview, but the little monologue. Vanilla Ice was damn near in tears because he was talking about how he just sat down with Coolio and they love to talk about their kids. And he was really proud of family and really proud of the kids. I think he has like 7, Coolio has like 7 kids. And he was just proud. And so he says that most of the time he and Vanilla Ice said most of the time that he and Coolio would be laughing to talk about the kids more than anything, and that he felt like that was a great accomplishment. But what the kids are going to do, they're going to take the ashes and make necklaces for themselves. Veronica, we had discussed that kind of thing. That's something that his kids want to do. I guess they want to make sure they always have dad with them. I thought that was really, really good. So again, our condolences, RIP to Coolio.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna touch upon this story real quickly, and then we're gonna go on from here. I'm not saying that there is a direct correlation of a comparison between Ye and this other person, but sometimes I feel like it, and that's Ray J. Sometimes Ray J can go way out, and this time he was puts a lot of posts out where people were really concerned. He was sitting on a high ledge and tweeting and putting stuff on, I guess, tweeting on IG or whatever, and they're saying, he said, I would jump off and die tonight. And he's putting this stuff out there. Like he said, I'm trying to figure out, maybe this life was an illusion. And then said, maybe the next life will be my real reality. And he says, if it wasn't for my kids, I would jump off and die tonight. And he showed a picture of his legs swinging from the, the high ledge where he was. And he kept saying, should I just jump off and end it right now? He kept putting that out there. And so, well, people said after that, the good news was that someone spoke to Ray and he was hanging with Princess Love. I think he's having a trouble about that breakup. I think he's really having trouble. I'll talk about that in a second, but said that he was drinking a lot when he was doing those posts and he wasn't hospitalized or anything and said he was just messing around. So that one's like a really, really hard one to me. I see my other one's frozen. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because I see that one keeps freezing. And look at that freezer. It's horrific. But so the thing is, I really feel like he had a hard time with Princess Love moving on and dating someone else because he used to do that to her all the time.
Yeah.
He was messing around, but he considered that since they were strippers, he didn't think it was a big deal. And she did. And she has a right to feel that way. So I think now, I personally think he's just having a hard time with the fact that she's moving on.
Hold on, Ray J. Mama coming, honey. I'll be right there with you. I'm coming.
I'm thinking all of this is not necessarily that he's actually going to do it. I'm not calling him no one for nothing like that, but those things are signs and outcries for wanting to get some help, some kind of way, wanting to talk to somebody. Those are things that you're dealing with an issue that you feel like you don't know who you are right now because that's something heavy and that's been on your mind consistently for a while. So, two, knowing how his parents are and his sibling, I'm sure
the way that you said his sibling.
His sibling, his one, and then from the tattoo thing, from the loss of the battle, from the weird tattoo and all this other stuff, they seem like little signs of him dealing with stuff, especially when him having gotten sick, thinking that he was gonna die or something, something happened, bad to him. Till now, I'm sure they've seen like little signs of, him not fully being himself, and then even signs of him in alcohol, maybe having alcoholism, being alcoholic like that. So, all of this stuff over that period of time combined, something was bound to be, pushed out there, so that he can get some help, or at least somebody, hey, you can't ignore this anymore, and he can't ignore it anymore.
Right, exactly. It's something where you really, really hopeful because I feel like he is a talented person. He's the person that you don't know him, but you feel like you know him because he's real lively and and everything. You feel like you want your family member. He's like a family member. You want him to go get his help and everything and get it back together. You hope that he can pull everything together and not do anything to harm himself or even to harm his career. I want him to stay in there. Because I believe that he could do so much bigger things.
Just hold on, baby. Mama's coming. Just hold on. I'm coming, Ray J. I'm coming.
Yeah, he's just distracted.
God, I distract him.
Ray J, you still have a lot to live for.
You do, baby. Yes.
Get yourself some help. Talk to your family. Get them to help you out and hold you accountable as well.
And keep God in your life, baby. Keep God close to you.
Yes, God in your life. Yeah, first.
That's right. I got two more quick things, and we're moving on to the living room. Here, we talked about this before. Alec Baldwin reaches a settlement with the Helena Hutchins family. She's the one that he shot on the set of the movie Rust in 2021, and they were saying that it was, she's a cinematographer, and they're saying it was a mistake and I'm still not sure about all that. It's just,
Right.
me. I always feel like these sets, things happen all the time, but that's just a bit much for me. It's
Yeah,
just
it's,
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
it's a way
It don't
back.
sound like an accident.
Yeah, it don't sound like that. Okay, well, they said that Baldwin has reached an undisclosed settlement in the wrongful death lawsuit filed against the actor and others, according to a statement released by the actor's attorney. The lawsuit filed in February in Santa Fe against Baldwin, the film's production companies, its producers, and other key members of the crew, alleged numerous industry standard violations. Matthew Hutchins, the widower of Helena Hutchins, who was killed on set, will be an executive producer on film. The film, the statement as, wow. He
Oh,
said, you know what, you're going to put my name on this crap too. Okay. He
Mm-hmm.
says, we have reached a settlement, and this is a quote here, we have reached a settlement subject to court approval for our wrongful death case against the producers of Rust, including Alec Baldwin and Rust Movie Productions, LLC. As part of that settlement, our case will be dismissed. The filming of Rust, which I will now executive produce, will resume with all the original principal players on board in January 2023. I have no interest in engaging in recriminations or attribution of blame to the producers or Mr. Baldwin. All of us believe Helena's death was a terrible accident. I am grateful that the producers and the entire entertainment community have come together to pay tribute to Helena's final work. This is what the husband says in his statement. He says, throughout this difficult process, everyone has maintained this specific desire to do what is best for Helena's son. We are grateful to everyone. And gosh, I had to pop up. Okay. We are grateful to everyone who contributed to the resolution of this tragic, and painful situation.
Mm.
Y'all, I'm feeling something else. I'm trying to hold it down. I'm trying to hold it down, but something is saying there's something else going on there.
Mm.
I just feel like it's something else. It's almost like let's go and get her out of the way. I shouldn't say that.
I'm just looking at it like you said, that her husband and now her son, you know, regardless of how much money is still not bringing the person back, but
Mhm.
the money can do something in order to help, but it's not going to take the weight of in the years.
Let me tell you what is getting weird to me.
You
It
know,
is the money and the executive producer credit. Now that's what sent me over the edge. So
you're saying like that part might be just a little much. The executive,
it's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is screaming, what y'all doing?
uh,
It's just it's just a little bit like, hey, what's up? So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone. We're gonna let it play out and see what happens. It'll probably just go away now anyway, because the money is exchanging hands soon, and that is that.
mm,
So but anywho, I got one more story here. I guess not just really. I can't say it's that kind of a story. We're basically just recognizing the death of Loretta Lynn. She died this week at age 90, and she has lived quite a long life, and and got a lot of music and stuff done. And I just have to say that's a really
I
great
grew up
feat for
listening to her.
something. Yeah,
I grew up listening to her.
right. Same here.
there
You
was
know.
also a comedian. It's a lady that passed too, and I remember
Mhm.
seeing her. I can't remember her name right off. but I was looking at it yesterday because I think she's
Right.
74.
Uh-huh.
But it was I just remember seeing her on some comedy special a long time ago, being really silly, like really playful and dramatic. And I think because she developed a lot of characters, it'll come back to me, or if I research. But
Okay.
yeah, it was a comedian that passed this week too.
Yeah. Well, our hearts go out to their loved ones. I know I was looking at this particular post and they were saying that Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, Blake Shelton, and more people were paying tribute to Loretta Lynn. And, you know, a lot of us are familiar with her work over time and both on stage, you know, music on stage and film. So, you know, I'm sure she'll be greatly missed. And so, of course, rest in peace, you know, and there'll be more tributes as time goes on, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll hear more. All right, y'all. We are going to the break because we're coming back with the living room in just a few minutes. So y'all hang tight. Be back in a second. Y'all, I felt like I was everywhere because I'm looking at 3 different screens here and I was doing some other stuff. So I'm going to welcome y'all back in. I see someone has joined us. So let's go ahead back in here to this living room. And I got to welcome everybody to the living room. The living room is when we take a subject and we discuss it from different points of view and we try to come together. Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we can hear.
Let's see if I can get Rick in here. Rick, you there?
Somebody wants to say hello, you ladies. Hey, Rick.
I'm here, love. I'm here.
Hello, hello.
Hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
I was getting my mat like prepped up. I have to cleanse my. It's too cluttered, running too slow. Way for a Mac computer.
Gotcha.
How y'all doing? Long time. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good.
Hey, Mr. Rick.
Okay. Yeah, I'm having some tech issues, but mine is mostly because I have very lousy coverage over here with Spectrum. very lousy coverage. So I am trying to hang in here with everybody too. So tonight's subject, can you defend someone when you know they're guilty? And let me tell you, of course, I was looking at something this week that brought it to my mind. I am enjoying the new series Reasonable Doubt on Hulu. And so as I was watching the story, I started just looking at how we're all familiar with how defense attorneys are. Defense attorneys always have a way of pulling their straight truth of the issue out of the narrative. They know how to navigate around average things that would make a person have certain feelings that a person is guilty and go straight to the 1 or 2 or 3 or however many facts that is there that says, can you convict the person based on this information? Not your thoughts or what somebody says or what you feel here and there, but the facts that are presented. And that's what made me want to do this subject, is because can we do the same thing in our own lives? You know, do we become so emotionally wrapped up and we defend the person, or we are on the defense against the person? You know, just how we can handle that. Can you handle actually still befriending someone as your friend, someone in your family, or just even looking at someone who you don't even know in a case and still be able to defend them in the back of your mind when you feel there's guilt there? Y'all tell me.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Number one, it's just as our parents say, if you make the choices and decisions to put yourself locked up, we're not coming to get you. Mm-hmm. We're your parents. We love you. We do the best that we can and still doing as much as we can. But as you are mature in your own realization as an adult, and that whole I know, you can't tell me shh. All right, then use that same shh to get yourself out of the trouble that got you in the predicament that you're currently in. So here's the thing. So since can't nobody tell you shh, then use that same shh that you know and get yourself out of it. Right. Me myself, I'm not about the ride or die concept. Mm-hmm. I'm not. And I said it because I have to protect myself. Mm-hmm. Because, not even nowadays, just a reality. You are guilty by association. Mm-hmm. Walk like a duck. You're an eagle, but eventually you keep hanging around with chickens. You're gonna be clucking, doing all that. You're gonna be acting like a chicken eventually. You know what I'm saying? So, this whole thing, well, you my brother or you my sister, you supposed to have my back no matter what. No, because if I do that no matter what, mm-hmm. I'm not gonna be with my wife. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna be with my kids, and I'm not going to be with my passion. Right. I'm going to restrict myself because I'm giving you more. I'm giving you more reverence than that of what I've built up. So I'm not going to put myself in a position to take care of you or make sure you're taken care of when I have a host. Let's just say this. Let's just say that an individual is single, doesn't have a family, doesn't have a wife, doesn't have kids. But for the betterment of that person, I'm not going to put myself in a position and not ask questions. Well, how did you get here? Why did you get here? Mm-hmm. What did you do? But people was like, no, it's no matter what. It's right or die. That's all I hear. I hear Charlie Brown's teacher. Y'all hear right? You hear a totally different language that you do not understand. And the reason why you do not understand is because you don't care to, because you've groomed yourself through that bullshit, that same bullshit from the yesteryears, your younger self, your foolish self. So why would I continuously put myself in a position to defend someone that is not catering to and that is not willing to take the parameters of presenting themselves, of putting themselves in that position? But now I have to have your back because you continuously make the decisions. And then you're looking at me like, I thought you had my back. No, you should have had your back first. Because if you truly had your back first, rightfully and justly, we wouldn't be having this conversation in terms of.
Hold up, Rick.
Yeah.
Sometimes that 4-letter word can play
Love.
in there. That 4-letter word is like in the middle, or it can surround the situation, and it can take a whole left. It goes from the left to the right and in the middle.
It can.
Love.
So you're talking about the word love. Yeah.
Love.
It can. It can.
It can hurt
It
you. It can make you do some crazy stuff.
It can.
That word love can make you it will mess you up every time.
Well,
Yeah, like you don't see stuff.
Well, hold on.
I have lied to my father's face, and I swore up and down that the dude did not take my car and wreck my car. I swear up and down that somebody else came in my yard, did some damage to my car, and then after the adrenaline, and after I came down, and I thought about it, like, why did this nigga leave the house when we stand out here arguing about something that he done? He just get on the phone and calls his parents and tell them to come pick him up while I'm standing outside with the police trying to figure out what happened to my car.
Here's the question. Does that other person have the habit of doing that? Do you know their history?
No, and this crazy because I just got the car. I had a car a week.
You just got a car. You just got your just due back. And knowingly how long it took for you know how long it took for you to get that. And at that point, why would you relinquish that freedom or that liberation and entrust that freedom and that liberation?
I was drugged up because I had an asthma attack and I was drugged up.
That's different.
And when I woke up the next morning, my car wrecked.
Well, hold on. Well, it's not actually. I'm about to say it's different. At the same time, it's not so different, because when they introduce themselves to you, when they want to use your car while you were medicated, they knew your condition before they introduced what they wanted to do with what you have. So they already knew. And here's the problem. They want to use the connection in terms of family, love, and all that bullshit. But here's the thing. That is the tool that people use to get over. And then we wonder why we are without. See, we have to understand the condition. The condition is
after the fact, because after they put the car in the shop and it got taken away from me, I could only drive it to the doctor's office and back home. And then when it couldn't stay in my yard, I had to drive the car to my parents' house, leave it there, have somebody take me home.
So in a sense, you only had what you had, right? You only had what was available. But now you know going forward, when they treat you as such in this predicament, taking advantage. Actually, let me get to it. They're taking advantage of your state.
Exactly.
So, of course, in that particular state, you're going to agree with whatever. But they take advantage of your. But here's the thing: we don't want to admit to the fact that people take advantage of our state, right? We don't want to realize that. We don't want to accept that. But then wonder why we wonder why the same happens over and over again in different situations. But here's the thing: no matter the situation, it has happened before. And for us not to gather those same habitual behaviors and put it all in one, but of course, considering the circumstances, we're inoculated. this and that and third from a medical aspect, or from even, you know, it's all circumstantial. It can be circumstantial,
Right.
But it's the fact that they took advantage of our circumstance and then making us feel guilty because we're not quick to say yeah. It's either you know the resume, and when they present themselves in that situation, like taking advantage of your mindset or your mind state, if it's not because it's not there, when they do it from day one, that's exactly who they are. And when they do it again, when they do it again,
now that I look
But I
back
have a
at it, yeah,
question.
he have done it before, yeah.
I have a question for you all, and let me just kind of ask you some questions to go along with the subject matter of defending someone that's guilty. What if it's a situation where, let's say you're with someone and an incident occurs, you know that your friend or your family member or whoever is dead wrong,
right?
But to keep them from getting into trouble, or you from getting into trouble, are you okay with defending, or is it just a case by case?
It is
I'm
case
sure
by
it has to be case by case, yeah. But are you okay still with defending when the person is guilty?
First thing and foremost, how have they handled this situation before? Did they make it? Have they always made it about them? And you've heard about this before, and they want to use this. Oh, it's about family, or it's about friendship, or this and that and the third. But to continuously put these same people that they so-called love, you're still doing the same thing over and over again, and you're relinquishing the situation to them, knowingly. They have this habit of doing that and making people feel guilty because they didn't have their back. Well, here's the thing. You put yourself in this position. And as an adult, even if it's first time, you put yourself in that predicament. But to invite someone else in your predicament, in the negative decision and predicament that you put yourself in, and you want to invite someone else and then expect for them to have your back, that's not even unfair. That is poorly selfish. Poorly selfish.
I agree.
Poorly selfish. I don't believe in having people's back when they don't even have their own, and they don't even want to consider the outcome or the potential outcomes. They just rely on the fact that, oh, that's my family.
And then they didn't say sorry. I'm sorry, I messed your car up, and here's a couple of dollars to help out with the. No, just let me stand there.
All it takes is one or two or a couple of dollars. Oh, that's all it takes. And I remember this from Team Focus. I remember that. All it takes is this $1 bill to enable their excuses to continue this behavior.
Right.
It's either $1 or one simple minor gesture. Now it's minor now, but now they have the expectancy that, oh, he or she's going to have my back no matter what. And then the behavior grows and grows and grows. It's like you're creating a monster.
Right.
You have to have a strong willpower and say and be able to say no. Because I had, it was just that time, a situation where I just came to the conclusion, said, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't have your back like that anymore because I got in a whole lot of trouble behind you, and I ain't going to do that no more.
Right.
It's that no part, Tanya. Like when we had an episode in which you said, and you were very adamant, and I was like, what the hell? But it was built around MFs. They're not going to change. They're going to keep doing the same thing until you bring it to their attention.
Right.
They're going to take advantage of you until you bring it to their attention. Not only bring it to their attention, but also stand up on it, to stand on that. Like, no, until you let them know, which is sad, but that's even case by case, because sometimes people really don't know. But a lot of times, I believe, like most times, they do know. But until you stop them in their tracks, they're going to continuously do the same thing to you over and over and over and over again, which is that is an awakening on both parts. So until we realize that we've been taken advantage of, until we stop that, sadly, we are still going to do the same thing. But like I said, it's case by case, because sometimes people do the same thing over and over and over and don't think that it's wrong because they're so used to, oh yeah, you doing your thing. Oh yeah, you do your thing. No, it's all good, Kimbo. No, you doing it. They ain't saying nothing, so it's cool. No, it's not cool. It's not cool. You being an awakened and a conscious adult, you know that you don't want the same thing done to you. But as long as you can continuously do it to other people, you're going to continuously, or they are going to continuously do it to other people until you stop them in their tracks. But here's the thing. They're old enough. They're adults enough to know that, their conscience speaks to them. Their consciousness speaks to them. This is wrong. This is wrong. But
Oh wow.
I know this is wrong. I know this is wrong, but this is about me. And I need to get out. I need to do what's best for me.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you. Let's take it over to the legal side. Let's take it over to the side of, like, when you watch defense attorneys, and it's a real skillful way of doing it, where they pick certain things and they're like, we're going to present this evidence, and the jury can only make a decision based on this evidence presented. And so if you're even a member of a jury trying to make a decision about something that in your head you see it one way, but the evidence presented is in a totally different way, how would you deal with that?
Oh, that's very simple. That's very simple.
Margo, I'm gonna get here. Let's see what Margo will do.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
I'm here.
I know before we were saying like a case by case thing, and I don't know how I would really go about just protecting it just to keep the peace. Like I know some people do that to lessen the sentence, or to lessen the amount of trouble that somebody can get into. But if they guilty, they're guilty. Like, you did that. Do you feel any type of anything towards that? Like, are you going to really take responsibility for your actions? And I'm just thinking, like, have I done that before? Have I ever protected somebody from something? Maybe because it was something simple, but I'm just like, I'm not really big on doing it, because I feel offended that you're asking me to defend you on something you had no business doing in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, but like I said, that word love will have you doing some crazy stuff.
Some crazy stuff.
That word love have you gone, man. I have took up for him several occasions. We had I went to a birthday party, a senior citizen birthday party. Came back that day, and I was a victim of violence. I got smashed. My face got smashed in. Wow. I had a black eye for like a week and a half.
What?
My teeth, everything was swollen up. And when I got to my parents' house, and they were like, "Well, what in the world happened to you? Did that boy hit you?" No, he ain't hit me. I went to a liquor house, and me and this girl got into it, and I mean, the whole thing just changed. If I find out he hit you, I said, no, he didn't hit me, y'all. He did not hit me. He did not beat me. He didn't do nothing to me. But where was he at when this girl was jumping on you? I said, he was outside, but then he came in and he broke it up. And knowing that was a lie, the whole thing was a lie. But I defended him. I said he didn't do it.
Nah.
Because I loved him. I didn't want nothing to happen in our relationship.
That's the thing. People use love as a convenient tool when it fits their needs or their narrative. But when it comes to other people, when it comes to other people, it's like, hey, whatever happens, happens. It's better them than me. But then when it's them,
But then when it
It's
happens to
like
you, it's a whole
it's
different
like
story.
yeah, it's like okay, I didn't know, or look, I didn't know what to do about that, or you hear like all these lame ass excuses why they did not help or participate. You know, but if it's not for the betterment of them, they're not with you.
And then I turn around and stay with them for another good 2, 3 years.
Wow.
See, and that's the thing. People use love as a what do you call that? They use it as a catalyst to manipulate
Mm-hmm.
people to do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to that word, when they realize that they have to commit that to commit love for themselves, they're in the total they're in the total wrong. They're told, well, it's not about you. Conveniently, it's not about them. But when it comes to you, conveniently it's about you. Oh, I'm sorry, it's about them. And they're quick to say, well, it's different. Well, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Ninja, oh, it's different. Yeah, you damn sure a ninja when it's about other people.
Oh yeah.
Convenient.
Oh yeah.
Now you're in the shadows. Now you cool, calm, and collect, or now you don't fool nobody unless they fool with you. But when it comes to other people and their support, when they need it rightfully, they're nowhere to be found unless it's conveniently for them. And they'll talk forward to you. They'll, hey, you're my girl, you're my dude, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
You're my roundaway dude or girl, whatever. I'm glad, can I consider you like you have my back, da 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 da, my best, this and that third. But at the end of the day, when they are dead in the wrong, it's black and white and clear,
Mm-hmm.
very clear. Just like I said earlier, when I prefaced it as such, when I said, look, baby, baby girl, baby boy, we've done the best that we can. But if you get yourself locked up for some dumbass reason,
Oh
we
God.
not letting you out because you keep talking that about. I know. When I'm feeding you jewels, when I'm giving you preventive measures, and you don't want to listen, but you know it all. So use all that you think that you know, put it to the test, and use that to get yourself out of that same predicament without calling, and then see how they react. And you know how they're going to react. Oh, you didn't have my back. You never had my back. I thought we was 1 and 2. I thought we was this and third. Yeah, you thought that, but I knew that we weren't because you never showed up to plead my case rightfully or righteously. And that's what's convenient for you. But you're going to give me the guilt trip, but not one time have I ever given you the guilt trip. I've never given you any reason because I'm not going to set you up to have my back when I'm in the wrong. When I'm in the wrong, look, I'm gonna face it.
That
I'm gonna
part.
deal with it, and I'm not gonna call. And I'm not gonna call an entourage. I'm not gonna call because I don't need backup because I face when I'm in the wrong, and I don't need support because I did the wrong by myself, and I'm going to answer to the wrong by myself. But they don't do that. They
But
want to give.
I'm gonna ask you all something. I'm gonna take it back to my last question because I still want to know how. Let's say, for instance, you're on the jury
You what?
and you're on a jury. You're actually in court and you're doing your civic duty, duty,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
your jury duty, and you hear, you know about this case. Maybe you've heard somebody talk about, or just either you just look at the whole situation and all around you might say, "Hey, this person is guilty," and but you still have to go only with the information that is provided in order to make a decision. And the information provided is a clear innocent.
okay.
So how do you do that and live with yourself afterwards, after the
Well,
decision comes down and you leave?
I think during the how you say how you say that the liberations, you
Hmm.
have to really they give you papers and stuff to read on what's going on while you sitting there trying to make a decision while y'all discussing
Hmm.
whether they're guilty or not guilty. Um, Look at it and proofread it again and see if there's anything that anybody missed and keep going over it until you feel comfortable and present it to the people and then let them know what you feel, how you feel about it.
But when let's say, for instance, you decide to go with the group and you say the person is innocent, and then you go home.
And then later on, it's guilty.
Yeah, and but all along they were guilty. It's just that you
So do
couldn't
you
really
go? Okay,
say.
then I got a question with the question. Then I guess, do you go back to the?
Yes.
Do you go to the
It's
authorities and tell it,
it's very
or just
simple.
let it go?
Go ahead, go ahead, Veronica. Go ahead, love.
Do
Go ahead.
you go to the authorities and say something, or you just like let it go? I mean, just
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
That's the question I have to y'all. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's to me, it's simple, yet it can be complicated. But here's the thing. When we're doing jury duty, people have to put themselves in the place of the accused. The only reason why there is jury duty because something does not add up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it does not add up, which is why there is jury duty to begin with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So put yourself in the defendant's position or the accused position. This was said about you. You know about you. You know who you are. But search does not add up. Put yourself in the defendant's shoes. What is their history? Right? What is their history?
Right.
Put yourself in their shoes. Okay, if somebody's saying this about me, I did this and I did that. Knowingly, you do not have a history of any of that, right? None of that.
Mm-hmm.
You're treated like a brick of Swiss cheese. There's holes in this whole situation. There's holes in that, in this whole HOLE, not W, but this HOLE situation. There's holes in it. Something doesn't add up. I don't do this. I don't do this. They know I don't do this. They know that I don't do this. You have to convince, or you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I have this behavior, or I've encouraged myself with this behavior. But because I don't have a history of that, now if it's out of the blue, you're going to have to prove that. So what I'm convicted of is going against my consistent behavior. Now, I do this. They're telling them that I do this. So, Veronica, Tanya, Margo, Nicole, Bola, whoever, they know me from a certain distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know me. They know me to a certain extent. My family knows me to a certain extent. Oh, he wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do this. He wouldn't do this. Now, all of a sudden, I do this. Oh, you have to provide some lined up, what we call it, letter of explanation or action of explanation or proof of explanation or proof of proving that this is what I do. It's a matter of putting people. It's a matter of people putting themselves in the defendant's position. So if it happened to you, how would you feel? There are questions that need to be asked. There are questions that need to be asked to add up to the end result, or to end up to this question or this accusation. Well, he done this and he done this. Well, hold on, because he or she does not do this, what led them to believe that he or she done this? They don't have a habit of doing it. Or I don't have, or Tanya doesn't, or Veronica doesn't, or Margo doesn't have a habit of doing this. So why was I convicted of doing this?
Right.
Basically, what if it was you? You want questions asked. Because at the end of the day, let's say you're in that jury room, right? Wait a second. We found a link to the crime scene. You were linked to the crime scene. Just picking a random person. You were linked to the crime scene. So now explain yourself. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. What if it was you that's being convicted of something that you never did? You want hella questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
You want hella questions
but
asked.
I also want my people to defend me too. And I would have to say, do they believe in me enough and my innocence enough to defend me in that situation? I hope that I come across that way to people, that what I will say, is real and right. But that's a question too. Do you feel like the things that you would be able to say in that time, or that you in general, or do you get through to your people in a way that they can defend you?
Well, that's the
And just
thing.
not expect them to do it just because they're close to you.
Right, because that's the thing, Tanya. Hope doesn't do a damn thing. Hope does the air that we breathe, the air that we breathe does more than hope has ever done. The air that we breathe does more than hope has ever done. Hope is just a mute word that has no action, that has no force. Hope has no force whatsoever. We can hope all we want to.
I feel like, look, my sister always used to say that hope had a hole in it. That's what she always said.
What are the first couple of words that Hope said? What are the first couple of letters?
Yeah, she always used to say that all the time. But see, what I was just thinking, I'm saying I would hope that people would see my innocence and defend me, and that I would not be put away for something that I didn't do. That people would be able to see my innocence in the situation.
Just like the Lucretia Murray trial back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Lucretia Murray trial, she was convinced that she took a young baby's life, and she didn't have any time. She was hounded by cops. She was hounded by attorneys. No one was in her defense. She didn't have any rightful recognition. She didn't have any rightful representation. But this young girl, 13 years old, Lucretia Murray, was accused. She was accused of killing an infant, killing a child, a baby, and she didn't have any rightful representation, any lawful representation. So they hounded her and convinced her that she killed that child. We don't want to talk, but we don't want to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that. That's the example. And that could have happened. That could have happened to any one of us that were babysitting kids at that age, be it male or female, could have been easily convicted of a crime that they did not commit. But because we didn't have right representation, and because our parents were not there to back us up, we could have been convicted of anything, because they used the fact that what we did not know lawfully. They use that against us. Or they use that against her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was like talking to her, making her feel guilty. Like, well, I guess I did, or maybe I have, or didn't realize it that I did black out. And she doesn't have a history of blacking out, but all of a sudden, she has a history of blacking out. Get the fuck out.
Making you believe that, kind of convincing you to believe.
Let me ask you this. I don't know, because I got dismissed out of it when they was trying to pick a jury for a murder case. Well, no, let me do another one scenario. These three black guys got in trouble at my school when I was in the 11th grade. The three black guys got in trouble with this one white girl. She liked black guys, but her parents couldn't stand black people.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
So she called rape when she felt like somebody was coming in the room. The three black guys got in trouble. So when they got to court, when they had to go to court and everything, my mother had got called for jury duty. Mm-hmm. Well, when she got jury duty, they asked her right off gate, "Do you know any of the defendants?" And my mom was like, "Well, yeah, I know all three of them." So they took her off that case. Mm-hmm. She couldn't get on that case. She had a dad wait. They sent her home because she knew the guys. Mm-hmm. Two of them was her cousins, and the other one was a very good friend of the family.
Right. That wouldn't be fair. I get
exactly.
That.
So it wouldn't be fair. So,
yeah.
So they.
Sorry, go ahead.
they had to find somebody else to take his place. But at the outcome of it all, they found a whole lot of people that did, the jury consisted nobody didn't know none of the guidelines. So, but they ended up giving them a year in prison
Mhm.
and 2 years probation. Two of them, they really didn't do nothing. They were just there like a lookout. It was in the making of doing something, but they didn't do it. But it's
Right.
all still by them all being there together. All three of them got the same thing. All of them got a year apiece.
Wow.
Hmm. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Um, because you know the truth. That's the thing. You know the truth. They're going to take you out. They're going to take you out of the
Yeah.
equation. They're going to take you out of the equation, or they're going to take you out of the equation because
Exactly.
of the truth. Because of the truth. Hence.
Right.
Ooh wee. Julio.
Mhm.
Hence Julio. Hence
Mhm.
Julio. Been doing music for forever. Been doing music for quite some time.
Mhm.
Inspiring music to me, very like poppy or cheesy. But at the same time, it may seem that way, Rick. It may not be to your vibe, but at the end of the day, Julio spoke the truth in his music. What's that song? Was it he used that sample Two Hearts by Cool in the Game? It's too close. It's too close. Too close. Basically, he's like taking parameters of protecting yourself sexually. Protect yourself, or you're gonna burn up and die.
Mm.
And this gentleman was threatened. Not he knew, he found out. So just going forward, even with that said, Veronica, as she was taken out of the equation because she knew the truth,
Right.
blessed be
Mm-hmm.
her. Blessed be her.
Mm-hmm.
She was taken out and still able to live her life versus those that are considered as overdosed, this and that and third. And I stand on this. Most of these individuals that we know in the black community, in terms of not even just the black community. If you pay attention, a lot of people are blacklisted. Um, Even childhood figures, they're blacklisted because they found out the truth. Even just them knowing the truth alone, they didn't want to take a chance. So instead of offing them, they blacklisted them. You know what I'm saying? They have their own cowardice behaviors. When you know something and we know you know the truth, and based on your character, we're not going to take any chances.
Mm.
We're going to have to deal with you, and we're going to what do you say? What do you say? Sprinkle some crack in the situation and walk off. Oh, that's why
Okay.
he or she overdosed. We're gonna sprinkle some that on them. We're gonna sprinkle some crack on them and walk away. Oh, that's what it is. No, we know what it is. We know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, if I talk too much, power and a half, whatever. But standing on and standing with people, knowingly they've done wrong, knowingly, and you know they are capable, know they've done wrong.
Well, Rick, before you finish that point,
Yeah.
before you finish that point, I'm gonna go around and ask everybody their stance on this because we're gonna get out. We're working on our whole new thing of the timing of the show now, and so we're about to get out of the show in a little bit. So I want to go around and just get a final from each of you on this subject matter of can we defend someone with guilty? And I'm going to start off with Veronica and get your stance on things real quick.
Oh, your mic is off.
You're muted.
Go to somebody else right quick for a second,
Oh, okay. Okay.
please.
Margo?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know in that particular field I couldn't do it because it's a lot to take on a case and then find evidence within it that does point to lead to your client to being guilty. And it's a lot. You're choosing between what you're getting paid to do and your morals and stuff. And so it's really hard for me to drop my morals and this, that, and the other, especially if you begin the case of thinking that your client is innocent and finding that they're guilty. It kind of it messes with a lot. And for those people that still take on the case and the money and everything and knowing that their person is guilty is kind of sad. But besides that, from a personal level, if you're helping out a family member or somebody close to you, or somebody you love, you can only do so much depending upon, like case by case and how heavy, of a weight or a burden it is. And you just don't ever want to drop who you are and what you stand for. Hopefully, it's a situation with some minor stuff versus, a huge and big issue that just like you can't ignore. So I'm more so you need to vouch for you, and use your best judgment. And I do for me. But on some instances, in some cases, I can see like, yeah, if I would have told such and such the truth, you really would have been. But it's like it's time to get yourself together and yourself right. Let's not do this stupid stuff anymore. But I can't keep, I'm not gonna keep being your backup, situations. Like I'm not gonna keep putting my, because would you do the same for me? You can say all you want to,
Probably
but
not.
it hits the fan. Are you really gonna be in my corner, backing me up on something that I might need your help for?
Right.
So,
Right.
Right.
Thanks, Margo. You have any thoughts yet, Veronica? What you feel
Yeah,
on
bite off a little bit of Marco there. Yeah, I'd have probably not. They were what she said the part about will they do the same for me? Probably not. Probably not. But my thing was, like I said, that word love. I was afraid of being alone. That if I found out that if they would have found out that he did beat me, or yes, he did wreck my car. They'll say I let him wreck my car, and I let him beat me. If I would have let them know that he did do that, then I would have lost him. He would have been in jail. I would have lost him. Somebody that actually cared for me, that I thought cared for me, but that was not the case. But like Margaret said, I had to let it go. I had to let them go. So. And then I had to come to the realization that you can't take up for everybody and anybody. You don't. It's not a good thing to do that, because taking up for them also, I stay in a lot of trouble behind defending this character.
Right.
The whole time that we was dating, I had to let it go. I mean, just my advice is don't defend something that you know is wrong. If you know it's right, then okay. But if you know it's wrong, don't defend it.
I understand. Gotcha. Thanks, Veronica. Rick dropped off, and I was waiting to see if he was going to come back for his final point. But so far, he hasn't made it back yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do my point, and we get on out. I'll just say it this way. Up until college, I wanted to be a doctor. Then I became a pre-med student, and I became a patient. And that's when I had that brain tumor and all that. Whole medical was nothing for me. So after that, as I got ready to then graduated at University, I came here and went to North Carolina. Then I wanted to go to law school because I like things with the law and and defending and kinds of stuff like that. I watch a lot of shows like that too. And I graduated top of my class, honor society and everything. So you go to law school. So I've been entertaining it, still not even done with that thought because I do like that. I feel like I could, because of being in entertainment and having this other personality, I feel like I could separate my personality enough to drive my defense point if that's who I am. But I probably would be more of a person siding with the plaintiff, working with the plaintiff, as opposed to the defendant. But I could still see myself if I had to do the job, doing the job, but learning how to take my personal feelings out. But on a personal level, I feel like it is difficult to defend someone who is guilty. But let's just say if it's a family member, let's say, for instance, a real close family member of mine had a gun in their hand and they was cleaning it or something and they shot someone by mistake, and you don't want to see them go down.
Right.
You would be in a tough position at that point of defense. And so, yes, it is a case-by-case situation, but there are times when I feel like it would be more difficult for me to not defend them if I feel like the rest of their life is going to be basically thrown away. So those some things I would definitely take into consideration. Otherwise, if it's something small, like some he said, she said type of thing, I'm good. I'll take my stance on it. And I'd be done with it.
Forensics is it's tough these days. Forensics is on point, right. So therefore, when you go through that forensic style, that situation, whether you can defend them or not. I mean, the forensics don't lie.
Right. So. That's true. And I still see Rick is struggling to get back in. I was waiting for a few moments to see if he can make it in before we get out. But I still see he's struggling. He just dropped again. So
yeah, his phone died. So sorry, Rick.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah. I could totally understand. And then okay, Rick is coming back in. Rick, are you there? We lost Veronica for a moment.
Yeah.
Rick, you good?
Yeah, he's there. He's getting a close up.
I'm gonna let you make your point quickly before we get out, because we are getting out of this show under 2 hours. I promise you tonight we're getting out.
I'm still
but Tanya, it's like, first and foremost, in order to consider people to have your back, right? That it's like that ride or die concept. Can you defend someone knowing that they're guilty? That speaks on that person's character. The one that's proposed to in terms of defending someone knowingly they're in the wrong. Me myself, it can be circumstantial. It can be. Right. However, when you're blatantly in the wrong, like, no, mother, you did this. You need to own up to it. Accountability. Own up to it. But to drag me in what you've done just because we're a family or just because you love me, well, here's the thing. If you loved yourself, number one, you wouldn't have done it to begin with. And if you even give a damn about me, much less care, you wouldn't even invite me in this or paint a picture like to consider you as innocent. You blatantly have done this? No, kinfolk. No, kinfolk. No, I'm good.
Right. I ain't doing nothing that takes me down.
Exactly. Because if anything, you should be doing something to build us up. But to put me in with you, inviting me in or helping you to talk them out of your troubles that you put yourself in. Because here's the thing. You didn't reach out to me before you did this. And even if you did and you still did this, and then you want to reach out to me after you did this to get you out of that, no, I'm good. Because then I would be in this with you. I'm good. I'm fine.
It reminds me of the J. Cole song. What's the J. Cole song? On my way down. You're the one that was trying to keep me way down. I can't remember how it goes.
Oh my God, I remember that one.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
And he talks about that in the song. He actually addresses that in the song. That was one of my favorites. He did that one with TLC. So I love that song. But yeah, he talks about the how we do, and I just wish I could remember it right now so I could say it, but maybe another time.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. But at the same time, it's like you weren't considering yourself when you made the decision. So now why do you want to consider other people after you made the decision to pull you out of the same thing that you put yourself in, depending on what it is, of course. But when it's blatantly wrong, and now you want to hit me up, you never hit me up any other time. But now to pull you out of the same that you put yourself in, now I matter. It's no different than don't talk to my child that way. Don't da 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 da. And then they're like, can you go down to a Lou Sterrett? Can you go down to the county jail and talk some sense into my child? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. We were supposed to be taking preventive measures to keep our kids from being in that predicament. Now you want me to talk to them when it's too late. Right now my words have meaning. Now you want to consider me. Look, I'm good. So you and him, or you and her, y'all figure that out. I can only do so much. I was doing so much already. You let it be known, and you embarrassed me in the process, cussing me out. Don't talk to my child. Don't you ever say anything to my child. They ain't doing nothing wrong. Leaving them alone. You don't know their life. But now you want me to speak on their life.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get ready to get out of here. I had to still send y'all the monkey videos. I do. I just was trying to go back and figure out the ones where I start looking at where I see some things from the beginning. But where Rick made that point just now, it made me think about those monkeys yesterday. I was looking at this video, and one of the babies was one of the other adults got onto the baby, and that mama woke up and went after her, like, don't say that to my child. No, I think the monkey hit the child. And the monkey got up and started chasing the animal. Don't you dare be touching my child. I said, oh, there's so much like humans. It was crazy. So I got to say, y'all, the videos still. Keep in mind, I am still entertained by them.
It's go ahead.
So Veronica hasn't made it back yet, but so I tell you what, we're gonna go to break when it gets come back and end the show. So y'all hang on tight, all right?
Right on.
Hey, I'm back.
And real quick, I'm sorry, my bad. Real quick, not to speak ill on Mac, because I don't want to speak against potential sponsors. I just have some things to clear out. You know what I'm saying? I got to clear out the cache and figure out how to do that. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not necessarily a Mac person, but yeah, in terms of a Mac, okay, let me shut up before she.
I like that. I'll say I like the Power Max because that's what I love to edit on is the Power Mac, but I don't need nothing else they got. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't need.
You know what I'm saying? Well, before I was saying like in terms of Mac, like metaphorically. No, hold on.
Yeah,
Look,
that's how I feel.
Yeah,
but I tell you, I want to see what's going on with y'all this week. We're gonna do that and do a quick wrap. Yeah, because we still under 2 hours. Yay. Okay, Margo, what you got coming up this week?
This week, I think tomorrow, just a lot of personal stuff, catching up, cleaning up, organizing, that kind of stuff. But Sunday, I go to my comedy show. I went ahead and purchased tickets 2 days ago.
Who's on the show?
It is the couple, the and then we had sex.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that.
The one I had been following on YouTube or Facebook, and they're coming to Austin October 9th. So I'll be doing that Sunday and enjoying myself. And enjoying my research. Like I said that show, just research. But still continuing to do certain new little things before my birthday comes, and then on my birthday. Still
right on.
Still have to figure out what I want to do to fully celebrate it, but I'm trying to get out just a little more. Public do things. Last weekend I was at a farmer's market and went out for breakfast. Went to a farmer's market. So this weekend, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh until I can't laugh anymore.
All right. Okay.
Y'all, please excuse me. I had an very important phone call that I had to catch.
Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all what. We're going to have to get out of this show. I'm losing power on my backup over here. So, Veronica, you go ahead and tell us about your week, and then Rick, and then we getting out of the show.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Love, hugs, and kisses to everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
All righty.
Same to you.
Rick.
My behind. The voiceover classes are very strong. Learn something new. It's like you got it, but there's some other things, a lot of things that you got to get. That you will get. So no disappointments, up praises, and being coachable, very important. Being coachable with any and everything. Be very coachable. You know what I'm saying? That way you can be approachable with opportunities. If you're not coachable, other opportunities will see you as unapproachable. If you're not coachable, they will see you as unapproachable for opportunities. And that's what I'm learning. So I have class tomorrow again, first thing in the morning. It's hard during the week after work, so it's a beautiful thing. But it is a beautiful thing. But go ahead, I love it. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, here's what I have to say right here. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Art Imitates Live with Tanya Dixon. So be sure to like and subscribe. And also check us out on all of our other social media. I'm not playing tonight. I'm not losing power tonight. So I'm getting out of this show. I had a great time being here. It's good to, the whole goal is starting to get the show on the 2 hours because we're getting to a point where I'm really ready to package it more, so we can do more platforms. And so I had to bring that time down. Whenever we get ready to do a marathon show, it'll be something that we plan. Like maybe if we decide to do a roast or something, we'll plan something special, and then y'all can sit on here and act up for it. We do it for hours. But other than that, I'm gonna bring it on down so we can get ready to, just to see more, like I said, see more platforms. But I have enjoyed being here tonight. I have a lot on. I never know sometimes what's happening with my week ahead, so I kind of leave it there. Still working on everything from mind, body, and soul. So, just trying to do the very best, and got a lot of things I'm planning that I can't talk about right now, but coming soon. So thank you all for being here tonight, tuning in tonight, being on the live here with me tonight, because I decided, I said, whatever, however many here, I'm going with it. And we will get it done, because I've got to release that anxiety that keeps me from doing the show. Because after a while, you will fall into habit of not doing the show. So I had to get away from that. So all of you out there, we thank you again. And as I say in parting, good things come to those who believe. Better things come to those who are patient, but the best things come to those who never give up. I'm Tanya Dixon. This is the Living Room Team. Had a great time tonight. You all have a beautiful week. We'll see you next time on Art Imitates
Live. Peace.
See y'all.
Peace.
Good night.